Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 482 of the GroomPod. I'm Susie the Groomer, and I'm here with my best buddy, Barbara Bird. And today's show is all about a massive workplace detox. First up, we're talking about horsepower and high temperatures. I'm going to break down the ultimate guidelines for using steam cleaners inside your mobile vans or in your salon where it works miracles, or you can absolutely ruin your expensive gear. So you got to know how to do it safely, and we're going to look at that. Then we are shifting from deep cleaning our physical space to deep cleaning our mental space.
Yeah.
Barbara's taking the mic to talk about Q-tip. Quit taking it personally. We've all had that client who leaves a review or makes a comment that stings. Barbara is going to share her golden strategies on how to build an emotional firewall between your business and your self-worth. It's a episode, so let's get rolling. Barbara, I want to thank our supporters. What do you think of that?
Hey, it's always a good idea because
So
they
I'd like
support us.
They do. And that includes all the people on Patreon and all the people who donate at our website, thegroompod.com, and our corporate sponsors, Best Shot, ShowSeason, Precision Sharp, Groomer, and Stasco. Did you know that Stasco has come out with a couple of new products? First, there is the Stasco Oatmeal Protein Conditioner. This conditioner provides exceptional body and manageability and super shiny finishes. And it has a wonderful apple scent that I love. Great in the recirculator, too. And they have a new matching protein conditioning spray, dematting, anti-static conditioning, and finishing all in one, just like the original Stasco spray, but with that delicious apple fragrance. Look for these new products at trade shows and your favorite distributors like Cascade Grooming Supplies. Okay, I got a little crazy with the power and the multiple dogs in the grooming shop in the new van thing. You know, I had three. I did three Shih Tzus. And I was trying to figure out what's the most efficient way to do all three Shih Tzus. Two of them live in one household, one of them is the daughter's dog. So, what I did was I washed the daughter's dog first, who has to go home first. Then I put that dog into the crate, put the blower on. And then I washed the two dogs that live together. And then I pulled the first dog out, put those two in the drying crate, put the blower on them. Then I dried the first dog and finished him, sent him on his way. Then I pulled out the second dog, and doggone it, I did not like the way the hair finish was. You know,
Uh-oh.
the passive drying, it left a less than desirable finish on the Shih Tzu hair. So I think that I need to re-wet and straighten the hair when it comes out that way. Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah, well, at least you need to at least spray it down and re-dry it. You don't necessarily have to do another bath. In
Right,
fact, I would suggest that you not,
right.
um, because uh, you just don't want to subject the microbiome and the skin to more detergent action than is necessary. So I would say, just spray it down. You can use diluted conditioner or a leave-in conditioner too. It just I have to do that to my hair because my hair has the opposite experience. Is that if I don't take care of it and wet it, it just gets straight. I don't know why that is. It's sort of counterintuitive, but it straightens out and just becomes a big ball of frizz, which is a gorgeous aura, regardless.
Okay. How about this? I wash the two dogs first, and then I open the coat of each of the dogs and kind of blow off the exterior water, which I did not do. I just put them straight in there. Maybe if
Yeah.
I blow open the coat and partially dry them and then put them in there, will my finish be better?
Mm, no.
No. Okay. But if I take
because
them out before they're fully dried and
if you
blow
take
them,
them
then
out
I would
before
do
they're
it, right?
totally dry and you do some air plus brushing, stretching the coat out, then you could probably get as good a result as if you did them all the way.
Okay. Maybe what I should do, which worked fine the last time because I hadn't gotten quite so big for my britches in that particular incident, is do the first dog by himself, the dog that goes home early, just do him start to finish and leave the other two dogs in the house. And then do the two dog method, which does get the dog out before it's completely dry and finish dry both of the dogs that way. And then I'll be happier with their finish. Because the first dog was okay because he didn't get finished dried in the crate. He got finished dried on the table. The other two that got too dry too quickly for me to
Got
really make
too
them look
dry
good.
too quickly, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Darn it.
even because, and that's something that bathing staff often does not understand, that if a dog is not thoroughly dry to the skin in every area, it's going to come out curly.
Yeah,
It's going
less
to
than
come out
perfect.
messier. So like the it, yeah, so that
So I think I can figure it out though. I still think that I can efficiently get the three dogs. I got 2 hours out of my day from doing those
two
dogs
hours
that
and
way.
three dogs, that's not bad.
No, I was pretty excited about it until I
Yeah,
was looking
actually,
at,
I would say
yeah,
even 3 hours would not be too bad.
yeah. I was pretty pleased with myself, feeling pretty good about doing that. And then, but I did not like the completely dried in a
Well,
cage.
I think
Just
I'm
didn't.
excited that you are experiencing some uh, kind of uh, crate drying.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
mean, which
And
you
my
couldn't do in
cats.
the trailer. And so now you can do it. So you have to go back into a learning mode. That's all.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you're just, reviewing because you haven't had to put that into practice forever.
21 years since I've been able to
So
do a crate drying.
that's called a
Yeah.
rut.
Definitely.
That's a
Yeah, I think
that's a rut.
it's
20 some years is a rut.
yeah, and I have to remember how I worked it when I was at the vet hospital where I did rotate through the cage drying and the multiple dogs. And I would have three dogs in at once in groupings and I would work through them and I was happy with the finish. So I just need to adjust a few things, few little things. The other thing that kind of worried me is I was reading the manual again from beginning to end to make sure I know everything. It appears like I need to do a tune up on my generator, which I'm not sure that we can do at home, like every 4 months, three times a
Four
year.
months.
Yeah, that's a lot. But these generators are
What
so
what did
expensive.
uh what did Sharon tell you about that?
They did, uh, they did that. Yeah. But they see, for them, it's a little easier to go pay someone to do that kind of service. For me, I find it extremely frustrating that my husband cannot do it because it would take him no time at all to do that. But you got to drop the
Send him to
generator
trade
out.
school.
No, it's,
Hey,
we don't
you
have
got to learn
we,
this.
he can do it, but we can't get to the generator without it coming out from the bottom of the truck. And we don't have
Oh,
a
so
way to
you
do
need a
that.
lift.
Yes, a lift that can
Yeah,
lift a
well,
350 Super Duty Ford, which is huge. It's a 1 ton truck, so it's got heavy running gear and
yeah.
everything. So that is an expense that I did not count on when I was so excited to get all the nice new things. And it's true, I can figure it out, but the place to do the Cummins generator service is an hour away, and they leave you sitting there in their waiting room all day, because I've talked to Brandy 1,000 times on the phone when she's been sitting there waiting for service. So I'm going to have to try to figure out pretty darn quick how to deal with that. It is easy to do the oil change, though. I can do that nicely myself and change the filter. So very
Isn't there sort of a
self-serviceable that
cheating
way.
way or something that you could,
I'm going to get my husband out there, who is very good at things like that, to see if there's a way
you
he
know,
can get
like,
in there to do what needs to be done. But I'm afraid that it's going to be a day off. But it's not a day off, because you still got to take it down there and sit and wait while they do their thing, and then they
yeah, so
overcharge you.
that's just like,
It's an
well,
unpaid day. It's a
that's a
it's a
hundred
it's a
games of
money going out the
iPhone
window day.
solitaire.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So we've got another interview that we're going to do coming up. It's pretty exciting, at least I think it is. And it's with Damian Garber from Groomer's Choice about the ShowSeason acquisition. So we're going to hear from the other
Oh,
side.
you know,
Andy. Yeah.
speaking of Groomer's Choice and Damien, did you pick up that they now also appropriated hyponic?
Oh, I did not see that. But that explains
Yes.
why there hasn't been any product available for people.
Yes, I saw that and I said, "Oh boy, what is this? How are they going to make all of that botanical mixture?" I
Plus, they're moving everything to South Dakota. All of the processing will eventually probably be in one spot in South Dakota.
yeah, I
What
know.
does
I have
that
to figure
mean?
out how I'm going to get my kennel fresh. I think they probably show season has lost all their inventory by now.
Yeah, you might have to talk to Best Shot and use 256 instead, because you're a little close. I think you're closer to him, to that in
Yeah.
Kentucky. Yep. Anyway,
Does
so
Best Shot deodorizer come in gallons?
yeah, I
It
think so.
does?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna put in an order.
here you go. Oh, God. That was Barbara's Alexa. See, this is what happens when you are working in your house, when you're doing the podcast from your living room.
Ah,
Anyway, so if you guys have any questions about the show season acquisition or about Groomer's Choice, let us know on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the GroomPod, and I will include them in our interview questions. And hopefully, we could have a conversation and see what the future of show season looks like at Groomer's Choice. Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
I got wind of that there's um a more recent iGroom shakeup of some sorts happening. What was that all about? Did you
I'm
get
not
a
sure what's going on there, but I think formulas are changing or something like
who would
that.
know? We need to get to the bottom of that because like I've continued to be an iGroom supporter even though I wavered there for a while. Um, but now I don't know.
That's not a bandwagon I ever really got on, because it just didn't. I'm not doing the kind of dogs that really were gonna make a huge difference with that kind of a product, the one that, especially the
Yeah.
charcoal one. So I never got behind it so much. And their very sophisticated smells didn't turn my cranks.
Boy, I don't know. I liked their
Yes, you're
fragrances.
sophisticated and complicated, and you like complicated smells. I like simple smells. I like candy and fruit. It's pretty easy. Some flowers.
Did you see my formula my ingredient list?
Yeah, yes, I did. And I don't think that she meant for you to use the smell that I wanted. So I thought it was pretty
To
good that you
use
picked up
what?
on that though. The smell that I picked out. Like she was asking me what my favorite smell was, but I don't think she was asking because she wanted to put it in. I knew your stuff would be scent free. I
Well,
knew it,
like,
and I knew
because
it,
yet, like I would just do the, if I had my way, I wouldn't do shampoo fragrances. Shampoos are for cleaning and for removing things. I just don't see a reason for them to be fragrant. You can
pure
have,
pleasure. Pure pleasure for the person doing the bath. It has nothing to do with the
yeah,
dog. That's just for me.
but considering that
I know.
fragrance is the allergy of the century,
Yeah.
like, um, I just would, have it for other products, and I would ideally have it separate so that you could just spritz it.
After the fact. I get it. I understand, which I wouldn't
So
expect anything less from you.
yeah,
I
that's
also
just
knew
the
it would
difference
have
between us. And like, that is, you're going to win out because there's more of you. There's more with your views than there are with my views. Like, for
I
sure.
never I never felt like, with the exception of maybe three shampoos, that shampoos deposited fragrance on the dog. There are a few that do, but mostly it just washes right off. So I always have thought of it as purely a groomer pleasure to have shampoo scented, because it does then when the bubbles release and it infuses the air with scent. I love that. I absolutely love it. But I get what you're
I
saying. It is,
understand because
yeah.
it's not that, I mean, I enjoy fragrances. Yeah, I got caught up on Amazon, just like screening through spray on hair and body fragrances, just because I really like them. And I like kind of, well, you're right. I like kind of exotic, like hinoki and that kind of
Sophisticated.
stuff. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like going to a carnival. I like
but
walking down the midway, and I like smelling the candy apple and the cotton candy and the peanut butter and jelly and the, yeah, I like food. What am I saying? It's obvious.
I love peanut butter, but I don't think I would want my dog to smell of peanut butter. And
Well,
he's
no,
so
probably
cute.
not. Yeah. Hey, well, why don't we
So,
take a little break and then we'll be right back and we're going to talk about my
yeah.
cool new toy. So
Okay.
excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to point you to one of the best whitener shampoos in our marketplace. We're talking about ShowSeason Bright Shampoo. It features a deep cleaning system and a punchy whitening system that goes beyond the usual blue colorant with an actual optical brightener and a dash of dimethicone. This makes all colors look radiant and glowing, and white coats look like new snow. Get your bright on today. Show season, where every day is a show day.
You love grooming, but the business side, not so much. Between the constant phone calls, the no shows, and the messy calendars, it's hard to focus on the pets. Meet Groomer, the all in one software built specifically for salon, mobile, and house call groomers. Let clients book online 24/7, send automatic text reminders, and manage your payments all in one place. Spend less time on paperwork and more time doing what you love. Start your free trial by putting GroomPod22 in the coupon code at groommore.com. There are a lot of nooks and crannies in the van. Oh, wait, I forgot this. Ready, groomers? Here comes our first appointment. Yes, a lot of nooks and crannies in Vanna White. That's the name of the new van, is Vanna White. And I was trying to figure out how to clean in there, and I was spraying stuff on and trying to get in with my toothbrush on my hands and knees. And I thought, this is stupid. And then I thought back to my mentor, Barbara Bird, who has more than once mentioned that steam cleaning might just be a fantastic solution. And I thought, yeah, the nooks and crannies. This is it. So I bought a steam machine. And we're going to talk.
I'm so impressed.
I
I'm so
know.
impressed you took my advice.
I always, well, I do. I often take your advice. I don't always take anybody's advice, but I often take your advice. And I have right behind me my Amazon steam cleaner. So here we go. Let me hang
And the
on.
great reveal is here. Let's see him do it. Yes. Woo!
There it
Oh
is.
boy.
So it's hard to get an idea of how big these are. So I just kind of wanted to bring it here and show
That's
you.
not as big as I thought. From the picture, it looks
Exactly.
like it was bigger. That's
Exactly.
a good size. Does
And
it
you
have
can
little
set it-
wheels or anything to roll it
No
around?
wheels, because
It's
I
got
would
a-
be towing it everywhere. But it has a pretty long cord, so you
That's
can
good.
set it down and work away wherever you need to, just really easily. And it's very light. You're not holding all the water. The water's down here. It heats up in like 15 seconds. And all of a sudden it just starts going. And if you look at the top here, this is where you put the water in, and it's just a little flap with a kind of a funnel shaped hole
I
so that you can
see. Yeah.
don't spill. And then you put the top on like that. And then it's got this on off button and then a up and down with settings for the pressure of the steam. It's not how hot
Oh,
it is.
that's good. That's quite an advancement.
Yeah, for Amazon for 69 bucks.
And
I
I
got
can't
this.
believe that. You know, Susie, my first steam cleaner was called a ladybug, and it was kind of a large round red tank. And I got that as a result of writing an article about kennel cleaning for Pet Age magazine.
I remember
And
that magazine.
and that, did you do that on purpose?
I did. I'm
Oh,
showing
there you
off.
are. And
There's
that
where I got it.
and that machine cost like $1,200. And now you're buying this really little state of the art
Yeah,
for
it's pretty cheap.
69 bucks. I think that's wonderful. I want one.
Definitely. I was thinking about you when we were talking earlier to think it
I
maybe this
wonder
would
if
help
that
you.
would clean my fake grass, if I could clean my fake grass with steam.
Right. So here's a little of the Amazon ad that talks about what's going on here. Now, why is that? How did that? Oh, there we go. Not the picture I want though. I want this picture. Okay, so it gets to 221 degrees and it does it really, really quickly. So much so that they actually give you a pair of gloves, rubber gloves, so you don't burn your hands, which I thought that was good.
Yeah,
And that temperature is important because you need to have a high temperature to sanitize. Because not
that's
only does
right.
it
It's the
clean,
temperature that kills the germs.
yes. And you see, it's got the levels up and down. This is just a little bit closer view. Apparently, it's really good for cleaning your hood over your stove, getting the grease off of it. I'm going to be all over
Oh,
that. And I thought this was cute. Here it is, talking about how hot it is, right? Up close, it's 221 when it comes out, but a little farther away, it drops off to 180. So if you want to do the
yeah, I
sanitizing, you
see
want to
what you
use it
mean.
pretty close. Yep. And
So you have to, so yeah.
yep. And there's the water inlet, and it's very basic. It's just a pressure pump inside, and then the fill. And if you don't use up all your water, then it has a drain at the bottom. You could just hold it over the sink and open the drain. It has a lip on it though, so it's hard to get all of the water out of there. So from my playing around with it the other day, it still has a little bit of water in the bottom, which I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out of there because it could probably smell it. I figure I'm going to do the steam cleaning maybe twice a month.
Oh, just
maybe
throw
once.
some vinegar in there.
Yeah, do that.
Just put some vinegar, just add some vinegar. And so it'll sit in vinegar water.
So this is some of the things it does. It does really good on your gas stoves. Also really good on your porcelain sinks and your stainless faucets and your car upholstery. Hello, how neat is that? And your carpet, which who doesn't need to clean your carpet? We're dog groomers, we have pets. And that's pretty neat. There's a little video that shows her working away. It shows how easy
Lots
it is
of attachments.
Yeah, it has a
Lots
lot of
of
attachments.
options.
It plugs in. It has a two-prong plug, although one side is loaded. It's got these little microfiber cloths that go over the handle.
Yeah, those are
You can use it.
important. Those little
Yeah,
microfiber cloths are very important to you because that's how you get a lot of the cleaning done is with the rag after the steam hits it. Yeah, see,
absolutely. I
there's you
didn't
didn't.
know that. I didn't know that, and I also did not know. Let's take this back off and go to full screen here. Okay, on my back,
You're
is it
back.
gone?
We're big.
Okay.
We're big.
After 2 weeks ago, I'm a little gun shy. Sure. So it comes with the gloves, rubber gloves with a surface on them. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use
Silicone.
that
Those look like silicone gloves to
They
me.
are. Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
are. They're silicone
Yeah,
gloves.
that's not really rubber. That's good silicone.
It's got an
Yeah.
extender because some of us are short and I need to get in the corners on the ceiling. I think this is going to work great for that. It also has a crooked one to get in and under and around. Yeah. And then it came with nylon brush, one large nylon brush, and it just snaps in, turn it to lock it on, and it stays on. Then they give you two small nylon brushes and
Those are
two,
important for getting into little detailed areas. You'll use those a
absolutely,
lot. Yeah.
and then two brass wire brushes for if you're doing your barbecue grill or your what do you call that? The fan vent in your kitchen and stuff. That's what that one's for.
Yeah.
Then I didn't even think of this when I got it. I can clean my bird cage
Woo!
with this. Oh, how cool is that? And it comes with these two sprayer nozzle scrapers. So for the
Ah.
bird cage, this is going to work great.
Oh,
And
that's
they're
going
just
to be
little,
great.
yeah.
Okay.
And I did
Huckleberry.
test that.
You wait.
The first thing I tested was the mirror in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And I used the squeegee, got a squeegee on it, and I squeegeed my mirror, and I had a full on flood underneath it. I did not realize how much water comes out when you're steaming. And I also didn't know what the adjustments were on the top. So I probably had it on the wrong pressure.
Yeah. What is
But
steam? It is air
yes,
pressured water.
absolutely. Well, and here's the little covers. You get like three
Yep.
of these to go over the top of
Did you
this.
only
And then
get one? How many of those covers?
three.
Three? Okay.
Yep. Got three of those. And then I got also the microfiber cloth to wipe it down with. I got a regular cloth. And then and that's it. So it came with like extra
Boy.
brushes all over the place, all kinds of neat stuff. So it cleans and sanitizes without any chemicals. That is the cat's pajamas right there.
That's the thing.
Yep.
No chemicals, and it kills 100% of the bad microbes.
Yes. And it's super good at corners and slider tracks like your doors go in or your windows, slider tracks for your windows. It does a great job of cleaning that. Your table base, it just cleans your table base. You just steam it and then just wipe off all of the grime and gook and dander and disgust that gets on those bases.
Ideally, you should do that often.
Yeah, I would think that's kind of a once a end of the
I'm,
day
yeah,
thing.
even at the end of the day kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know
It's
what? I never could get my employees on board doing the steam cleaning. It was, I just failed because as soon as my back was turned, they would just be spraying and it's just they just wouldn't use it. And
I
I could
always
understand in the summertime because it does generate a lot of heat. You'll hate it,
yeah.
but it's quick. Um,
Yes, it's so easy. I mean, it's not like you have to scrub really anything. Although if you were doing your vent fan or something, you might need to use the scrubber brushes, but for the most part, it's freaking amazing. And
it's
Barbara,
very instant and yeah.
the stainless steel bathtubs. It is purpose built to clean the scum out of your stainless steel bathtub drains, and the whole surface shines like new again. Holy cow. And it doesn't take any elbow grease. And my van came with a really super cool grate that I'm sure everybody with a wagon tail is going, yeah, we know, Susie. But it's got this grate and a shelf so you can do smaller dogs up higher and bigger dogs down low. But it looks like a cheese grater, right? It has poked through holes that are really small all over the surface of the grate. And each one of those holes looks a little dark and suspicious to me. I'm going to be able to blast that right out with the little nozzle of my steamer. I didn't do it yesterday because it was late,
You are
but
just going to town, girl.
I'm so excited because on the boat, we had the same kind of marine vinyl upholstery that covered all kinds of bulkheads and things like that. And it was white and it was so difficult to clean. And this is just making my interior in the van just boom, pop like it was brand new. I'm very excited about it. They say make sure you're not pointing it at like the electric table motor base, like stay away from the base and the switches and stuff like that. But for everything else, it's fantastic. It is um combined with the little power rotating brush that I got from Costco. That's a cleaner brush, but it just has a rotating head. That combined
Yeah.
with the steam, oh, it's the coolest thing ever. I feel so clean and tidy and everything. Plus, the upholstery. They say you got to kind of be careful with the upholstery because you can melt the seams or you can soak stuff in the back. But if you use the microfiber cloth and keep it moving, I can do all of my beautiful red accents in there. It's going to look so nice. But you do not want to use it for your grooming tools. Like, don't do your blades with the steamer because it really does get water into places that you probably would even have a difficult time blowing out with your HV dryer. Plus, it can actually corrode some of the coatings that they put on there. So don't use it for tools, not for tools. The surfaces it works best on are like stainless and tile and commercial vinyl and things like that. Don't use it on composite wood or sealed plastic trim because it can warp. What do you think? Could I use it on my floor mats?
On your floor mats?
My
Yeah, I would
anti-fatigue
think
mats?
so. I
I
would
was
think
thinking
so.
so. They're sealed. So I'm
Yeah,
going to try that. Yeah.
I I would try it.
So the magic number is 212 degrees. You have to be above that to do the sanitizing. Now it'll clean lower. You'll definitely be able to clean it. But if it's a surface you want to sanitize, you want to make sure it's above 212 degrees and also that you go very slowly over the surface to kill the pathogens. You can clean pretty fast, but you're not doing what you need to do to sanitize unless you really go slowly over those surfaces. That's what kills the pathogens. And you were mentioning, Barbara, that it does create a fair amount of humidity in your space. So put your vent fan on, open your windows, put your dehumidifier in the shop on, do all of that stuff, because otherwise you can end up with mildew in places. And the other thing is, I did test it on the bird cage and I soaked my floor because
You
I
did what?
wasn't paying attention. I soaked my floor. I got it very
Ah,
wet, my rug. So put towels down on the ground if you need to protect surfaces. In the grooming shop, maybe not such a big deal, but I mean, cover anything you're going to be on top of because it's going to drip. Follow the manual, watch some YouTube videos, and have at it. It's pretty freaking cool. They also said if you're going to do the vinyl accents, to use a conditioner afterwards. So there you go. That's the tutorial on how cool it is to use steam to sanitize and clean your grooming environment.
I wonder if it would clean the backside of my grass, my fake grass mats.
I think it might, but it's 212 degrees. But those are meant to last, I think, I don't know. It just depends. You'd
It's
have
gonna
to
melt
do a
them. You think
test
it
on it.
might melt them?
It's
Ugh,
pretty hot. Yeah,
I
it is
know,
pretty hot. I was surprised.
but they smell
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, no, I think it would be worth trying for 69 bucks. You know, that's a pretty reasonable dealie. Maybe the GroomPod should buy that for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you can test it because, we are talking about cleaning our grooming space. Pea, pea grass is definitely something that needs to be cleaned.
Yeah,
All right.
I gotta clean my fake grass or I'm gonna lose it. It's gonna get
Yes.
tossed.
Hey, if anybody's got any ideas on how to clean the fake pea grass, let Barbara know on our discussion group or contact her
Yeah,
individually.
I need help because my caretaker is complaining about the smell.
Oh, uh, hang on. I've got a sound effect for that.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah,
Ew.
it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. Their pea pads and pea stuff is fragrant. We don't want to hear about that. Anyway, take a break. Be right back. Are your shears working as hard as you are? If you're ready to level up your scissoring game, it's time to check out Precision Sharp. Whether you're sculpting intricate styles or tackling heavy bulk work, their sliding thumb, Lynx, and Bobcat series are built for the job. The Lynx shears are your go-to for lightweight, lightning fast precision, while the Bobcat series gives you that extra power and control you need for those challenging coats. They hold an edge beautifully and feel perfectly balanced in your hand all day long, thanks to the sliding thumb ring. Find your next favorite pair at precisionsharp.com, where performance meets perfection. Groomers, take your seats. It's time for B-Bird's Classroom. All right. Well, we are going to talk about something. Are you good? Can I
I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. We're going to talk about something that Barbara gave me as a gift many, many, many years ago. And it's the phrase Q-tip, or quit taking it personally. So, Barbara, I'm going to pass the microphone to you. There you go. Here it is.
Well,
Oh, wait. There you go.
okay. Thank you very much. So here's what's happening. Yesterday on the GroomPod discussion group, somebody was bellyaching about how groomers these days seem to act, I don't know, mean to their customers, mean girls.
Yes.
We've all turned in, we've kind of gone from playing the victim to being the mean girl. And it seems to be that taking assertiveness to an extreme has resulted in conflicts with customers that we used to sort of like swallow. And so it reminds me that taking things personally is the most common human uh, weak spot. We all do it. We all take things personally, not some more than others. I was bad. I was very, it, I'm going to say that taking things personally really limited the growth, my growth and evolution as both a musician and a dog groomer, because I just couldn't take criticism well. I would melt. I would melt down. I mean, I cried at a certification. I actually
It
cried.
happens. It happens.
Oh, well, that's because my dog drove me crazy. And then when it was over, I had to take a written exam. And that was, I just went, it was hard. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but it's true. And I just happy to report that I finally kind of got a handle on it, probably by writing about it. And I realized that uh, taking it personally is because the mind itself is out to protect itself. You may think that your mind is your best friend, but not so much. Mostly, your mind is the biggest defender of itself that you can imagine. And this causes a lot of triggering reactions because all of us have suffered disrespect and, like bullying, um, being the fat girl, various
I had
little
buck teeth. I had
buck
horrible buck teeth.
teeth,
Yep.
how we looked, how we acted. Um, you know, Children can be brutal to each other. Parents can be brutal too, and maybe being very unaware. My father wasn't aware of all of the damage he was causing me by telling me I was pretty good looking, except I didn't have enough boobs and stuff like that.
Well, that was
When I was
thoughtful of him.
16,
They hadn't even shown up yet.
and no matter what I did, and one time I lost 50 pounds and I went to his like 50th college graduation celebration. And we had a table of us, and I took a date and all of that. And right in front of my date and these people that were important to our family. He says, and I was looking so good. I mean, I was like size 10, and that's a miracle for me. And he says, hey, you're looking pretty good, girl, except what's this under your arm? And he goes like this in
Ah,
front of everybody. And I just thought I would die, you know. I still have that.
what a jerk.
What a jerk. Yeah, and when I graduated college with highest honors and Phi Beta Kappa, which is like the top 10 students of the liberal arts college. I was one of them. I was one of 12. And out of a graduating class of like 1,200. And he said, well, you sure are the dumbest Phi Beta Kappa I've ever known. Like he thought he was being funny. He thought that was a joke. Oh, no. that re that lowered me. So what happened was I carried all of that stuff. I carried, being bullied by one of the girls that I looked up to used to corner me in the bathroom and make me give her my lunch money, and you shit
I'm
happens.
sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but
And and you know, so I became very sensitive to criticism, and mostly would protect myself by just like not being able to take it. So I was sorry, but the more I explored what was going on with myself, I realized that I was taking things personally. Once I started kind of reading, and once I started being a therapist, well, by the way, I was a therapist for like 10 years or something. So I have a little bit of experience with other people working through their taking things personally, which causes self-reflection of myself. Like I go home and say, oh, I wonder if I'm like her. Well, yes.
we're all that way.
Yes, you are. So the only way to work yourself out of taking things personally is to own it and be able practice catching yourself in the act of taking things personally. And you can do that by giving yourself like 10 minutes before you react. Give yourself 10 minutes to reflect on what's happening, what's boiling your blood. And the chances are the more you practice catching yourself in the act of taking things personally, the more you can kind of get over it because you can shift yourself into a more business-like frame of reference. Like, okay, I'll put on my shop owner hat and my customer service hat and say, like, well, tell me something more about how you're feeling, like, and kind of draw people out. And so that they're not just triggering your shit, literally. Wow.
You ever watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders?
Pardon me?
Do you ever watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders?
The cheerleaders?
The show, the
Yeah,
television
well,
show.
they're too much for me. I
Well,
know who you mean.
in that show, they get behind the scenes and show the girls learning the dances
Oh,
and
okay. I didn't see
taking,
that. No,
yeah.
I just saw the girls. Like,
No, it's really fun to watch. And as a gymnast, it reminds me of how much criticism I've taken throughout my lifetime. And on that show, they have very strict rules in their organization that when you receive instruction from the person who's teaching the dance, you say, yes, ma'am. And that's all you say. You don't get to talk back. You don't get to tell them how you feel. You just have to listen and take it. And I think through that kind of action where you listen to the criticism and you digest it is exactly what you're talking about by taking a few minutes to think about what's being said. Because the immediate reaction when somebody says your toe wasn't pointed is, yes, it was. I pointed my toe. My toe was pointed. I saw it out there pointing. It was pointed. But in reality, it probably wasn't pointed tight enough. And you cannot always see that. And someone on the outside might be able to see it. So that's something that we can take and translate into our own selves about taking a moment, and letting the person speak is another important part of that.
well, and I think it's a natural response when someone criticizes you to make them the bad guy. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, you're seeing it wrong, or no, that's not what I am. That's not how like you got to make them bad and wrong. And the if you can stop making the other bad and wrong, you're way ahead of the game. But it requires reflection and self-reflection, and we're not taught how to do that. I mean, they really should teach us how there's certain things they should teach us in school that they're not. They're not teaching us mental health skills. They're just
Yeah, coping.
I mean, I if I were in charge, I would like redo the whole education thing so that there would just be built-in things for conflict resolution, um, self-worth assessment, learning how to not take it personally. All of this stuff should come. They just leave it up to the parents. And if your parents aren't educating you and helping you do this, you just have to wait till you grow up and spend a fortune on therapists.
Well, this is one of those
You know,
places where taking the sports out of schools is taking out the ability to learn how to take criticism. And I'm not saying I want kids out there busting heads and banging on each other, but what I do want is I want somebody who is observing a behavior and then telling you about it for you to be able to take that and learn from it and turn it into a positive, not a negative. And we are not getting that anywhere if we don't get it from
we're
sports
not
or
getting
from
it
music.
anywhere, so we're just left to our own devices, which is pretty much to blame the other guy because that's what the mind does, and so one of my mottos is don't believe everything you think.
Right. That's a good
You
one. I'll give
know?
that a ding.
Yeah, don't believe that everything you think is true. It might be your truth at the moment, but taking some time to reflect, how about the other person's point of view? How about regarding trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes? We hardly ever put ourselves in the shoes of the client because we think the shoes just don't fit. But we've missed
This is where,
appointments.
right.
We fucked up.
Yep.
We
This is where
we
repeating back
spoke
what you
harshly
hear.
when we were not happy about something. We've done a lot of those things that we get angry at clients for doing. We're all human. We're all bozos on this bus. That's one of my favorite. That was I don't know, was it Beatles? It was the Beatles or something that said that.
Yellow,
That in the
yeah,
70s, that phrase hung on me like chewing gum in the bottom of my shoe. We're all bozos on this bus. We're all flawed fuck ups. So let's be patient with each other. Ask somebody to clarify what they mean. Give
repeat it
someone
back.
room to be mad, be
Repeat back what you
unhappy.
hear so you make sure that you've got it right. It also gives you a moment to think when you repeat
Yeah,
back what you've heard.
if you and one of the important things in listening skills is actually repeating back in your own words what you hear the person saying. Okay, so what I hear you say is that da 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 da. And if that's not right, they'll say, no, wait, I didn't really mean that. I meant dee 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 dee. Like, um, so there's just a way to be tactful and to put your mind on a leash. Your mind is just like an untrained puppy leaping here and leaping there, and need to discipline your mind. If you don't practice that, you're never going to learn how to do it. And you discipline your mind by being more professional, by not taking it personally. So you can even practice not taking it personally when you are taking it personally. And in fact, that's the most important time to practice.
Yeah, that's like the 400 level class, is to be able to hear yourself taking it personally, but not say it, not express it, not do the body
Yeah,
language.
yeah. And if
Absolutely.
somebody says, I think you're taking this personally, give that some thought.
Right. Right on. And on that note, I think we're going to head on about our days today. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us. If you'd like to support us, you can do so at our website, thegroompod.com. And happy grooming, everyone. See you next time on the GroomPod. Bye.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So long. We love you.